What's going on, YouTube? My name is FG3000. I'm back in the place to be, and finally, the MMO Hopper has come to Aion. Now, what the heck is the MMO Hopper? Allow me to explain. This is where I hop from MMO to MMO, but I don't give you any of that level 1, level 4 newbie zone nonsense. I get pretty deep into the game, not necessarily max level, but much farther than the newbie zone to kind of give you a better impression of what it's like to actually play this game. So today we are in Aion. I'm a level 31 gunslinger. I like to start these videos off with combat, so let's get it on. So first and foremost, debuff, boom, root, boom, rapid fire, shot, spam, button, click it, click it, click it. And that's pretty much combat in Aion for the most part. But I'll break that down on another mob here in a second. I gotta kill 5 of those, no big deal. Popping potions, popping freaking power stone thingies, power shards, popping all kinds of consumables in this game. If you don't like consumables, I can tell you right now, this is not gonna be your game. Do some more cool rapid fire shots. Look at that. Look at that. Pretty cool as far as animations go, as far as how combat feels, how all the abilities kind of, the sound effects, the feeling of impact. I gotta give it props, even though this is an older game, all of the abilities look pretty cool. I mean, you can't beat this reload animation. I mean, it's awesome. But then I also have this ability where I can kind of power up my shots. Very flashy game, so you won't be disappointed when it comes to the animations, the sound effects, or any of the abilities. I played the Summoner, I played the Assassin, I've also played this Gunslinger class as well, so you will not be disappointed in those. So combat, if you're okay with hotkey combat, I give it a pass. Good stuff. Are these bots? I feel like you guys have been here a little too long. You know what I mean? I feel like you guys have just been here a little too long. These two people right here. They look body. But there's a few things that Aion is known for. Of course, is PvP, which we won't cover in this video, but we will talk about it a little bit. So PvP, flying, and then of course the grind. Let's start off talking about the grind itself. So this is a fast track server. And basically what that means is it take Aion or NCSoft took all of the servers and combined them into one big massive fast track server, which grants you double experience points. So that kind of alleviates a lot of the grind that you have in the game. They also added NPCs in the game that give you potions, they give you scrolls, they give you items, weapons, armor, all kinds of things. Basically trying their best to make it as grind friendly as possible. There's definitely still grind in this game. But it's masked a lot better, and you don't spend a lot of time in the same zones grinding away. So I'll give it that. But once you get to level 56, the fast track server is over. So how grindy the game is after you leave the fast track server, I'm pretty sure it's still old school Aion. So do be aware of that. And like I said, I'm using tons of consumables just to level at this speed. Even on this fast track server, I'm constantly popping blue pots. I'm constantly popping attack speed buffs and run speed buffs, and like you're constantly. I have my power shard on. If you're not familiar with power shards, all my attacks have a little extra damage. These are very Korean-esque style tropes, basically. So if that's not your thing, if that's something that you don't really like, and to be honest, I don't like it either. I don't like having all these consumables. I hate using power shards because I just feel like once I get to the end game, they're going to be kind of required. I could be wrong, because like I said, I'm only 31, but knowing Aion the way I used to know it, these are going to be required to do anything as far as PvP and PvE. But let's talk about a story real quick. A little quick story, because I told you this game is known for grind. We've already covered it. We'll talk about flying in a second. Another thing this game is known for is bots. And it's always been a thing, but I kind of have a confession to make as far as bots go when it comes to Aion. So I played this game at launch. I'm not brand new to this game at all. I played this game at launch back when it was like hardcore grind, eyes bleeding, your hands about to fall off style grind. And I get really bored of the game around level 20th. About level 20, I think. And what did I do? Instead of being a smart, intelligent individual and say, hey, this game is boring, how about I quit? No, I didn't do that. I spent $50 on a game that I thought was boring. And then I turned around and spent, I think it was $24.99 on a bot to play the game for me. So I was one of these guys, the guy that I just yelled at for being here way too long, because there's no way that you still need to be here. I was that guy. I was absolutely that guy. So I had a bot that I bought. It did basically everything for you. It looted, it sat down and popped potions when you were weak. What else did it do? It avoided really powerful elite mobs. It also had probably the coolest feature of that bot. This is, like I said, quick side story. One of the cool features of that bot is it had 200 lines of text to respond to people with. So if you were like, you know, one of those guys, one of those good guys, trying to see, you know, if that person's a bot and report them to GMs and send them and tell them, be like, hey, are you a bot? The bot had almost 200 plus lines, and you can add more if you wanted to respond to keywords. So if someone said, hey, are you a bot? It would have a response like, nah, dude, I'm not a bot. I just been playing all day. I'm drinking Mountain Dew, blah, blah, blah. Something like that, for example. And let's say that same person sent you another tell. Again, it wouldn't repeat the same phrase. It would go to a different phrase based off of another keyword. And it would keep going and keep going and keep going. Also, let's say two people were sending you tells at the same time. It wouldn't send the same message to both people. It was really kind of crazy, but I started to think to myself, what am I doing with my life? All right. I would turn this bot on when I went to school, and I would turn it on when I went to sleep at night, and I'm like, I'm not even playing this game anymore. Even when I came home, I didn't even play the game. I just, like, you know, sold all my goods, re-equipped some things, and went right back to botting. So I got to the point where I wasn't even playing the game anymore. I just let the bot play the game for me almost the entire time, all the way up until the time I got banned, which I eventually finally did. It did have a feature that if a GM sent you a tell, it would automatically turn off and log off, which in hindsight is the most sketchy, most suspect activity you could do. Oh, hi GM, good night. So that's a thing. Well, that's it. As far as bots in this game, there are a ton. This has been the way it's been since I first started playing the game, and I don't think it's going to get any better. So next, let's talk about flying. Flying is not as cool as it should be in this game. So you can't fly in every single zone, but you can glide like this, and you kind of see I'm just kind of whee, whee, and every now and then you catch like an upwind, which kind of slows you down, which is kind of annoying. So that's all you can do, and depending on which zone you can do, all you can do is glide. Now, there are other zones where you can actually fly, like, full-fledged, but there's still restrictions on your time. There are restrictions on if there are enemies around. They have all these abilities that take you out of the sky. Like, flying is not fun in this game like it should be. It always feels like a chore. And to kind of give you an example, there was a quest that there were about 6 pillars, really high pillars, that I had to go up to the top of the pillar, fight an enemy, and go to the next one. Now, the pillar was so high, I barely had enough flight time to get to each one. So what happened was, I would go to a pillar, I would kill a creature, I'd be out of flight time, so I'd have to wait like 45 seconds. Even though I was full HP, full MP, I'd still have to wait like 45 seconds before I flew to the next pillar, and on and on and on. It was just so, like, tedious having to sit down and wait for my flight time over and over and over and over. It was just not fun. So I don't like the way they implemented flying in this game. I'm very much looking forward to see how Blade and Soul does it. I'm not really familiar with the game because I haven't played it, but as far as I know, you can fly everywhere. But we're not talking about Blade and Soul. We're talking about Aion. I'm having a lot of trouble finding the Claw Seekers that I'm looking for because of these freaking bots over here. But as far as this game goes, I have one recommendation for you. Don't pick a DPS class unless you just want to grind by yourself. If you want to do some dungeons and whatnot and you don't have friends in this game, you're going to have a hard time. There's a dungeon finder in this game, and I sat in it about 2 hours trying to get into a dungeon, mostly because I'm a DPS, and I understand that. But it's not friendly to DPS classes in this game. If you really want to get some groups, you might want to roll a tank or a healer or some type of support class. Because it's very hard to get a dungeon group in this game. Alright, a couple more Seekers over here. I really like this right here. Bink! Very cool. Yeah, I'm not even there anymore, buddy. You're trying to hit me? I'm way over here. Go ahead and loot that. And then I need one more Seeker. There's one right there. Let me see if I can like get him without aggroing his homies over here. Oh, of course not. So I also have a shield that I can pop. And we'll just DPS this guy down. Oh, he's gonna hit me with that, unfortunately. Let's reload. And empty my clip. Loot, loot. Okay. I also have one other weapon. Let's go ahead and show that off real quick. I don't have enough abilities for this weapon to use it right now. So this cannon doesn't use the same abilities as my dual pistols use. So I don't have enough abilities to justify using it right now. But I have one cool ability that I like to use. Look at this. Charge! Look at that. That's actually pretty cool. But then I have to switch back to my pistols because I don't have enough abilities. And it's not like Guild Wars 2, and it's not like Elder Scrolls. The weapon switch is kind of slow and clunky. It's kind of really hard to do it on the fly. Maybe you can. Maybe, you know, high-level PvP people do that, but I didn't find it very useful to switch back and forth between weapons. Whee! 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 There are mounts in the game, but the game feels... They don't really feel that fast in this game. But this is a free one that I got for... And it's only good for 5 hours, so that's probably what it is. Maybe some of the ones that are in the cash shop are a lot faster, but this one, meh, doesn't feel very fast. Alright, let's go ahead and turn this quest in real quick. Here's one of the... So, oh, this is actually perfect. Get off this thing. So, when you get to level 10, you have a choice to make. You can either be me and awesome. Yeah, look at... Really? I'm gonna do that right now when I'm trying to look at you? You can either... Ah, you little... You have a Keyblade? What do you have a Keyblade for? So you have the choice of being a gunslinger, which uses dual pistols, or you can be... Oh, I forgot the name of them. What are they called? Ethertech? Something like that. And this gives you the ability to basically be in a mech or a robot. They probably don't have the rights to say mech. Whatever they're called, Ethertech. But it gives you the ability to be in a big giant robot. And you have that decision to make at level 10. And all the classes have that decision to make. So once you get to level 10, you can actually go into an advanced class. And like I said, I just picked Gunslinger. Let's see. Before we go, one thing I like about Aion is that it doesn't hold your hand. Immediately when you start playing the game, it starts throwing some of the more complex systems into the game. So there's an enchantment system as well. So as you can see, this pistol right here has 3 open sockets. So I can enchant that. Ah, man, I don't have enough powder. So I can enchant my pistol with plus 23 accuracy. Then I can use some powder right here to guarantee that it succeeds. But it's probably going to be pretty easy to do it. Let's see. Yeah, pretty easy to do it on FG. Magic boost. So let's put that in there. Yay! And as you can see, now it's socketed with some extra magic boost. That's block, that's attack, that's evasion, accuracy. We'll put accuracy in there. So the more enchants you put in it, I think it gets harder, but we'll see. So there's 2. I don't really need evasion there, or yeah, we'll put block on some gloves. I just like the fact that it introduces you to these mechanics early in the game. Like, you don't have to wait to your max level to start enchanting your gear, and you know, and trying to push the amount of damage you do at all levels. Like, I like that. Like, I don't want to, if I want to put more time into my character and, you know, try to maximize it at every level, if I want to craft gear, if I want to enchant myself, I should be able to do that. And I like the fact that Aion allows you to do it very, very early. This speed right here is your normal running speed. It is atrocious. So make sure you're constantly popping speed boost scrolls. I don't know how plentiful they're going to be at late level, but in the early level, yeah, you should absolutely use it. It's time to get serious. It's time to get serious. But that's Aion, everybody. I'm not going to play this game to max level. I can see where it's going already, and I don't like it. I don't like it. The fast track server is very awesome though, so if you don't mind a little bit of grind, this will get you to level 56, and you can kind of decide for yourself if the post 56 grind is going to be too much for you. But I know I'm a wuss. I know I'm a wuss. I'm not gonna be able to do it. So I'm counting myself out early. But I do like the game. I do like the combat. I'm sure the PvP is fantastic. I do remember the dungeons back when I used to play the game, and I like the dungeons as well. So I think if this is your style of game, you should definitely go for it. Much, much better than I thought it was. Come on. And to be honest with you, you can probably get to about level 15 within a couple of hours on pretty much all the classes. So you can just, you know, mess around with the double experience points, play a few classes, and you can kind of see if this game is for you. You don't have to get all the way to level 31 like I did. I'm just a glutton for punishment, apparently. But that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. My name is FG3000. This has been a look at Aion. I'm a penguin for whatever reason. It gives me more power, but I never use it. This is really? Alright, well fine. I'm logging off. My name is FG3000, aka the MMO Hopper. This has been Aion. I will see you next video because NCSoft apparently thinks 2 hours is too long to play games. You don't know my life. I'm out. See ya.